many holiday eats is Bear gonna eat?
Princess Bear here today. We're hanging out at EPCOT for the Festival of the Holidays, and my holiday is stuff in my face. So it's your number one choice of foodie infotainment. I'm gonna eat, she's gonna watch and film, and we're gonna see how far I get today. So remember, she's vegan, I'm not. Buckle your belts.
It's time to foodie and chill.
Here we have the EPCOT Gingerbread tile from the Experimental Prototype Cookies of Tomorrow booth here in CommuniCore Hall. This is what CommuniCore Hall needs to be. Disney, give it into your camp. You're at your best when you're campy, you're giving it a bit, and you're just going for it. We're here for the camp. We're all wearing the ears, wearing the clothes. Be hilarious. Make fun of yourself. This, I like. Now about the cookie. Here's the thing. I like the base cookie. The icing, the white part, I hate it. Do not like it. To me, that ruins the whole cookie. I would easily just flake that off and then devour the rest. But since my bite was like 20% the icky white stuff, I gotta give that a 2.5 out of 5 claws. I was expecting great things, and I was let down. And no, that is not an analog for the refurbishment in the front of EPCOT. So here we have the brown sugar and mustard glazed ham sliders with a cranberry and apple coleslaw included on here. The cast members did apologize. They are running short on small toothpicks. So you get an entire spear with your slider. They called them sliders on a stick. And it's cute. And I love it. You have this nice piece of ham with the mustard and brown sugar glaze. I could do with a little bit more slaw. It's like, it's not very well slawed. It doesn't feel slaw. It's not slaying. You know what I mean? But we judge things on their flavor, not how they look around here. The Festival Favorites booth is one of the best additions to EPCOT. I know there's a lot of hate and talk about CommuniCore Hall and how you guys feel about this hallway full of things. But the booth on the outside, being able to revisit both Festival Favorites, all festival, and different beers you've gotten at these festivals is like top tier. We get some really good beers and drinks at the festival that are here for a few months and then gone again. Being able to have those revisited here, excellent. This is tasty. That brown sugar glaze with the mustard. I never thought of combining the two, but now that makes a whole lot of sense. I can do with more slaw, but all in all, that's a good snack. I give that 4.25 out of 5 points. Here we have the Reuben Croquettes, deep fried pastrami with Swiss cheese and sauerkraut and a Thousand Island dipping sauce. I'm going to use the spears that the cast members were so gracious to give me to dip it in this Thousand Island dressing here. Maybe get it unstuck. Now, this is one of the ones that you guys specifically asked for. So if I hate it, it's all your fault. I'll tell you, I don't hate it. I actually kind of love it. Yes. It looks a little dark, but it's actually crisp. It's not burned off, so it's kind of worried about. It's giving me vibes of the pastrami fish that I got at Narcoossee's last year on their little like fish charcuterie board. This is what I imagine pastrami tasting like, and honestly, the little croquette bites, the little bite-sized walkable delight, is quite tasty. Pastrami, I think, and Reuben's, for a lot of cases for me, it's a lot of strong flavors all at once. I think this bite-sized version of it works a lot better for me. I'll give it 4 out of 5 claws. See, you guys too can make great recommendations. Be sure to share those with the rest of the community in the comments. We can't do everything. You guys eat some things we don't eat sometimes. Share them with your fellow people. Though we often avoid it, this year we are actually attempting to do this cookie stroll. You guys will be the judge whether or not we pass or fail. But for one of the cookies that we're getting this cinnamon spice chocolate crinkle cookie. It's definitely crinkled. Is it spiced? I suppose it's up for me to find out. As far as cookies go, this is like my ideal. They're like moist enough to where like you don't feel like you're chewing sand. At the same time, they're also not dry and like falling apart. Holds together well. It's mostly chocolate with a little bit of spice. Think like almost like a spiced hot chocolate, but in cookie form. And you're right about there. It's a tasty cookie that wouldn't let you down. I would give it 4 out of 5 plus. You all asked, so thou shalt receive. You asked us to stop here by the Canada booth and try the beef bourguignon. It's nice looking pot roasty beef, potato, and carrot dealie. Though I'm going to dedicate this one to Grandpa B because it's one of his favorite dishes. If you don't know who that is, it doesn't apply to you. For everybody else, go ahead and dig right in. It smells wonderfully stewed. You got the mashed potatoes in here, the carrots, a little bit of onions in here, and those thick pieces of the stewed beef. I can see the appeal. The last time I had anything resembling a beef bourguignon was when we went to be our guest a few weeks ago, and they have their new vegan, like sort of like a tofu eggplant bourguignon. That flavor in the sauce is a lot different. Obviously, this is shredded, not like whole cubes, but like that deep, like it's got like a braised red wine sort of flavor that sort of like soaks through. If you're looking for something like nice and hearty, tastes like a base for maybe a trip drinking around the world, this is definitely the dish. I'm not even a beef connoisseur, but I quite like this. It makes me want to try to make a vegan version for ourselves at home. Give it 4.25 out of 5 claws. I think we're going to put some use to the Grandpa B's recipe very soon. One day, I'm going to visit France. The princess has already been to France. She loves Paris. She spent quite amount of time there as a child. Me, I have been out of the U.S., but not out of like the U.S. Like I've never been technically international. We're overdue. Food here at the France booth is always interesting, is the word I'm going to use. But this is just basically roasted ham sliced with mushrooms with a white wine sauce, white wine mustard actually, which is kind of interesting, and some thangs. These are just strips. It ain't fancy. It's just ham and mushrooms in a sauce. There's some pearl onions and potatoes in here somewhere too, allegedly. It smells like ham and mushrooms. It tastes like ham and mushrooms. You will occasionally come here to the France booth and you will find dishes that look ugly and taste good. This one looks ugly and it tastes okay. It's a fine dish. I don't think it's anything that I would recommend anybody run to. It's not fantastic. It's not going to, I'm not going to remember this in a week. You know what I mean? It's an okay dish. If you're craving ham and you like mushrooms, this might be your bag. The white wine mustard is actually kind of interesting. I want to look for that or try to make that at home for something other than just dirt rooms and ham. But it's okay. I would give it 3 out of 5 plus. Here we have France's chocolate fudge log, Yule log, with a caramel cream center. This nice slice with some chocolate pearls on top, a little chocolate stick. This is probably the prettiest thing I've seen come out of France in a long time. The question is always going to be, though, does it taste as good as it looks? We're going to find out. Or at least I'm going to find out, and maybe I'll save you guys a couple bucks. France. If you can make things that taste this good, why am I eating boring ham and mushrooms? Like, this is delicious. It's basically just a caramel Swiss roll with the chocolate pearls. Super tasty, very chocolatey. If you're a dessert person, and I'm not, you're gonna love this. That is a 4.75 out of 5 claws. You like chocolate and caramel? This is a no-brainer. This you should come here and get. Also in the category of things that just don't seem to change, and you're going to hear that a lot for this festival. A lot of the festival, the holidays this year, is literally a copy and paste from last year. There's a couple of new things, but a lot of the things, especially a lot of the booths, are literally the same as last year or just bringing stuff from the year before. There's not a whole lot brand new and exciting here. It's mostly new beers. But I'll never refuse a good fire roasted chicken. The chicken kebab, you got the herb cream on there. It's a charmoula chicken, and you get this little slaw along with it. There's some raisins and carrots in there. Just take a little bear bite. Tiny little bear bite. Honestly, Tangierine Cafe would probably get a lot more shade if they didn't do what they did well. The bread is always cooked fabulous. They give you more dip than you need bread. When you get a kebab, the kebabs are tasty, they're juicy, they're well seasoned, and it's just chicken thrown in the fire. And you get a little slaw along with it, so, you know, at least some of you can attempt to eat your veggies, or, you know, look at them on the plate like a lot of you do. Eat your veggies, kids. You're gonna grow up look like me. You don't want to do that. It's a good smoky chicken kebab. Same as always. 4 out of 5 plus. We have one of the only new things here at the Japan Holiday Kitchen is a mochi wrap donut. You have this mochi wrap literally sitting on top. I don't know if I necessarily call it a wrap, and then a Japanese donut on the bottom, topped with a strawberry. Now, I could have used a superior utensil and the chopstick to eat this, but I felt like that wasn't hard enough. So I decided to use 2/3 of a spork. Just dive right in here. Don't think it's going to work out well either way. You get a very slippery dessert on a very slippery plate with incorrect utensils. Hopefully, I don't drop it. There's also looks like a strawberry filling or some sort of fruit filling underneath here. Oh, right in the middle. So truly, an experience, and we do like experiences. The innards I thought was strawberry is actually a red bean paste. The powdered mochi top can be a bit much if you don't like textures. You go from what's already like a Dunkin' Donut level of like consistency donut, and you're putting something as powdery as mochi on top of it, and then the red bean paste can be a bit much if you're sensitive to textures. But all around, it's a good flavor. It feels very authentically Japanese. The strawberry is a nice touch of like bright sweetness to the top of it. I just wish probably if it had like a couple more strawberries, I think it would be a much better dish. As it is, I'm giving it 3.75 out of 5 paws. It's a semi-sweet treat that I can have guilt-free, I think. In the world of cookies, there is the Snickerdoodle, and then there's the Snickers Doodle. This is the American Pavilion's Holiday Kitchen, the Snickers Doodle. A cookie made with, this is an actual cookie made from actual Snickers. This is a big boy. I was expecting a cookie half this size. These Cookie Stroll cookies, for the most part, are rather large. Shared them amongst friends. The Snickers pieces, they're snickering. Laughing at me, really. It does taste like you put Snickers on top of a cookie, but the cookie itself is It's like a base no-name cookie, nothing special about it. I'm not really getting like Snickerdoodle from it, even though it's got Snickers on top. It's an okay cookie. I do with more of the Snickers. I'm getting like more of the nougat and less of the chocolate. I think it needs more chocolate. I'd give it 3 out of 5 claws. From the Shanghai Holiday Kitchen, we have the XO fried rice. We have Chinese sausage with some green onions, egg, and some house-made chili sauce. It's looking like some house-made beautifulness. Like, look how that catches the sun. That's an aesthetic right there. I'm not even sure I want to eat it, but I have to eat it because that's what you guys come here for. You don't come here to look at food. You come here to look at me hate food. This XO fried rice played itself like DJ Khaled on like Hot Ones. You took something very nice, your house-made chili sauce, which is a nice, robust flavor, and then the spice without being like overly hot. But the rice is extremely greasy and inconsistently cooked. So some of the rice is cooked beautifully, other of it, it's hard and crunchy. And it's just not a good time. It's like grease and fried rice. It's just not, just the execution is awful on what would otherwise be a fairly decent portion of fried rice. You failed this rice. 2 out of 5 plus. Serving up the treats. The Mexico booth has its own version of tamal, which is decidedly not vegan. It's corn masa with a shredded pork, and then you have a mole and a queso fresco here on top with some shaved almonds, which is sort of curious. Not things I would have thought to add to a tamal, but I'm excited for new things. I'm kind of surprised the mole sauce on top of that basically shredded pork tamal gives it a more sweet than savory sort of flavor. Combined with the almonds, almost gives it like a meat dessert kind of feel. It's definitely not as savory as I thought. And there is a little bit of spice to it. I give it maybe like a 1 out of 10 on the spice scale. But that with the sweetness of the mole, actually everything balances out quite nicely. If you're looking for like a little savory snack or pair to say somebody in your party has the vegan tamal, it's not bad. Not bad at all. I'm gonna give it 3.75 out of 5 plus. I really feel at this point, somewhere in EPCOT, we should have a permanent empanada booth. Someplace in here needs to sell empanadas full time. You will see them pop up sometimes at Choza, but honestly, we just need like a dedicated empanada booth. This is the pollo the empanada. It's a chicken-filled empanada with chipotle chicken, potatoes. You have this queso fresco on top of the Mexican crema, and then a rojo verde salsa on here. Crispy corn shell. I will say that is an expertly fried empanada. Empanadas here on World Showcase has varied to like barely cooked to overcooked to the point where you're like cracking into like a porcelain boss when you bite into it. This is a nice crunch without like getting in the way of what you're trying to do here. The chipotle chicken is nice. It's not spicy. I think that's probably because it's cut with both the Mexican crema and the queso fresco, so it gives it a nice like punchy and spice-filled bite, but not something that's going to burn your mouth out. I think it's an excellent empanada and only proves my case. We need a permanent empanada stand. I'm giving this 4 out of 5 plus. Now we just need vegan empanadas. Make it happen, Disney. As the drum beats, so does my heart for all the food I had to eat the princess had to watch.
It was an experience.
Yes, there's definitely a lot of things here for you to eat. Some of them good to average. There's nothing really like stand out. I feel like you have to come to Festival of Holidays to get this here. I definitely feel like this festival did not get the love it probably deserves and could use this year, but maybe you guys feel differently. Let us know in the comments below. If there's anything else you think we should do or something that I missed, by all means, let us know in those comments. Hit the notification bell if you want to see other videos like this, and
we have new videos 5 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday.
We will see you soon.
Be sure to subscribe and like this video. And if you don't comment, Bear might eat himself outside of EPCOT and never do another drink again. Woo!
You heard the girl.
Was geht ab, Leute? Yukon. Okay, one second. Alright. Was geht ab, Leute? Willkommen in Deutschland. Wir haben hier die besten Mitarbeiter, das beste Karamell und natürlich den besten Merchandise. Kommt zu uns, wir haben Brezeln, wir haben Bier, alles was das Herz begehrt. Vielen, vielen Dank. Euer Protagonist. Vielen Dank. Thank you so much.